In today's video, guys, I'm going to be showing you the new top 5 best loadouts you need to be using right now here in Delta Force. So if you guys are new and find this video help you out in any way, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and let's get into it. Now, jumping into weapon number 1 here, we have the QBZ. Now, right now, this is one of my favorite ARs to use because it's good at long range, it's good up close, you could be aggressive with it, play slow, take your gunfights to longer ranges. It doesn't matter how you use this weapon, it fries, and with my build, you're going to love it a lot more. But we're going to start with the barrel here and add on the longbow barrel combo. We're getting that range and velocity, which is great. The control and stability. This weapon has a fast fire rate. Keeping it on control, being more accurate with that stability, and being good at longer ranges is going to make this weapon a whole lot better. So make sure to have this on for your first attachment here. Now, what we're going to do here next is go to the handguard kit, and we're going to be adding on the longbow platform kit. This is giving us control, stability, and handling, which is nice. And also, it is going to open up some more attachments that we can use on this weapon. Now, for our upper rail, we are going to add on the purple laser light combo. This is giving us handling, accuracy, and also allowing us to go in tac stance, which is good on this weapon. The main thing for me personally is that handling, just being more aggressive. Just make sure the laser light is on, so we are going to go ahead and throw this on. Now, what we're going to do is go to the right patch, and we're going to be adding on the Python handguard panel. This can give us handling. This can help us be more aggressive, shoot faster off a sprint, aim down sights faster. That's what we want, so make sure to have this on. Now, for our left patch, we are again going to add on the Python handguard panel for more handling. We want to be more aggressive and outgun those SMGs, or if anybody's playing aggressive, we need to be more aggressive than them, so we are going to add on the handguard panel for both of the patches here. Now, for my muzzle, we are going to go down here until we find the Spiral Flash Hider. This can give us 4 control, 1 stability. Just having good control of this weapon, being more accurate, being more stable with this weapon is amazing, especially in those longer range gunfights. But really, in any gunfight, we need to have good control. We need to have good accuracy. This is going to help out a lot. Now, we're going to go to the foregrip here next, and what we're going to be adding on, for me personally, is going to be the Phase Combat foregrip. We're getting a lot of control, some handling, and stability. Being more aggressive, having better control, making the weapon more calm and smooth. That's what we want. So we're going to add on the Phase Combat foregrip. Now, for the magazine, what we're going to be adding on is the new Type 30 round mag. We're getting some handling here. I do like that a lot. So, just being more aggressive. We don't really have to reload too often, but, I mean, there's a lot of ammo around. So, if you run out of ammo, no worries. The main thing is just playing your life, reloading when it's safe and everything. But the time to kill on this weapon is pretty quick. So, you really just don't have to reload too often. So, it's nothing too crazy there. Now, for my rear grip, what we're going to be adding on here, for me personally, I'm going with the AR mode rear grip. We're getting some control. We are getting some more stability here. I mean, this thing is going to be an absolute laser beam, which is amazing. Having that control and stability is always good. Now, for my mag mount, it does not matter which one that you use. Any of them give you +1 handling, which is great. So, no matter which one you use, it does not matter. We're just going to go with the black one. Now, we are going to the cheek pad here next and adding on the only option that we have here. This is going to give us +2 control, handling, and stability, which is going to make this weapon a whole lot better to use. So, make sure to have this on. And then we are going to the optic, and we are going to be adding on the panoramic optic. This is my favorite red dot in the game. I think it's the cleanest one in the game. But when it comes to loadouts, I will say this in every loadout that I make here, it does not matter what optic I like, it matters what you like. So go ahead and use what you have unlocked, or go ahead and throw on your favorite optic here. Now, getting into the calibrations for this build, we are going to go ahead and start with the barrel. Go ahead and copy these down. For my weight limit, I have it at 25. The length, I have it at -3. This is going to give us some firing aiming stability, and also it's going to give us more aim down sight speed. This is going to be nice when using this weapon. Being more aggressive, having more stability is always good. Now, for the foregrip, we are going to go ahead and put our placement at 2 and our thickness at -10. We are going to get a lot of extra control for our weapon, and we're also going to get some extra movement speed for our weapon when aimed down sights. We can pre-aim into our corners, be ready for those gunfights, win more gunfights, so this is going to help out a ton. Now, for our rear grip, we are going to go ahead and put the weight limit at 50, and we're going to keep the thickness at default. I'm not going to change anything there. All this is going to do is just give us extra control for this weapon, which is always great. Now, for the cheek pad, we are going to go ahead and max both these out at 50 and 50. This can give us more stability and extra recoil control. I love this a lot, just keeping this weapon just an absolute laser beam, which is good. And then we are going to the optic. We're going to keep the the top one default, and then we're gonna put the eye relief at -20 just to make the weapon just seem a lot more calm when firing. So this is gonna help out a lot. But here is the best build for the QBZ and its calibrations here in Delta Force. Now jumping into our next weapon here, we have the AKS-74 assault rifle. Now I will tell you, this weapon is super easy to use, and it does not matter what platform you're playing on: PC, phone, Xbox, PlayStation. It does not matter. This is one of the easiest weapons to use in the entire game, in my opinion. But for my build, we are going to go ahead and start at the top at the optic. Now for this optic, or for this weapon in particular, for me personally, I want to go with an optic that's a little bit higher. So for me personally, for this weapon, I'm going to go ahead and add on the Cobra accuracy sight. Now again, I've already said this just a second ago, it does not matter what optic that you're using on this weapon. Use whatever you like, but I will say I feel like you're going to play a little bit better with this weapon if you use the Cobra accuracy sight. But again, use what you have unlocked, or go ahead and throw on your favorite optic. Now, going over here, I do not have the charging handle cap yet, so if you have this, go ahead and throw it on. That is a free spot for that handling. But we are going to the upper handle guard, and we're going to add this on. It's going to give us control, handling, stability, accuracy, and also unlock some extra spots for this weapon for attachments. So we are going to add this. That's very important. Now we are going to go to the upper rail and add on the purple laser light combo. This can give us extra handling and accuracy, and also allow us to go into tactical stance, which is nice. So it does not matter which one you use, just make sure you're using a laser light combo. Now, for the handguard, we're going to add on the lower rail handguard. This can give us control, handling, stability, and accuracy, and more spots to add on this weapon, so that's really important. Next, we are going to the muzzle, and we're going to drop down here until we find the titanium contest muzzle brake. This can give us a lot of control for this weapon. We're getting the balanced amount of vertical and horizontal recoil control for this weapon. It is already really easy to control. We're just going to make it a whole lot easier to use, so make sure to have on the muzzle. Now for my foregrip, we are going to add on the X25U angled combat grip. This can give us a lot of accuracy and control. Again, just having better control of this weapon at longer ranges, up close. We want to be accurate. I want you to have as many kills as possible. Being accurate, that's going to be great. The handling and stability is going down. Nothing too crazy there. You're not going to notice anything. Now for the magazine, you're going to add on the AK-12 30-round polymer mag. This can give us a lot of handling, being more aggressive, faster aim down sight speed, better sprint to fire speed. You want to have that running gun type of playstyle if needed, so make sure to have on this mag. Now we are going to add a mag mount, which we're going to add on the small mag assist mag. I have black. It doesn't matter which one you use. All of them is going to give you a +1 handling. Again, it does not matter what color that you're using. We're just going to go ahead and throw one on. It does not matter. Now, for my rear grip, we are going to add on the AK Heavy Tower grip. This is also going to give us a grip mount, but this can give us +4 accuracy, +1 in stability, handling, and control, just making this weapon a whole lot better to control, which is nice. We are going to add on a grip mount, which we're going to add on the balance grip mount. This can give us more accuracy, stability, handling, and control. I mean, a lot's going into this, which is great, so add on the balance grip base. Now, we're going to add a stock on, which, you know, there's a couple stocks that you could actually use on this weapon, but here we're going to go ahead and throw on the Shadow Rail stock. This can give us control and handling. We're more aggressive, having better control of this weapon. I do like a lot. We did have a lot of stability going into this, so it doesn't really matter what you're using here. You could use a different stock if you wanted to add stability, but here I want to have that running gun type of playstyle. I want to be aggressive, have good control, have good handling, running gun type of playstyle. Add on the Shadow Rail stock here. But this is the full build. I'm telling you, this thing is an absolute laser beam. You could be aggressive with it and get those easy high kill games. Now for my calibrations for this build, we have the foregrip, which we're going to go ahead and put the placement at +2 and the thickness at -20. This is going to give us a lot of aim walking movement speed and extra recoil control for this weapon, which is always nice. Now for the rear grip, we are going to max out our weight limit at 50 and our thickness at -20. We are getting extra recoil control, and we are getting some hip fire aim speed, so our aim down sight speed is going to be very quick with this weapon, which is nice. Being more aggressive and having good control of this weapon. Now for the stock, we have our weight limit maxed out at +50 and our placement at -2. We are getting a more aim walking movement speed here and extra recoil control for this weapon. It's not going to move whatsoever here. And then we are going to the optic, and for my zoom, I did drop it down just a little bit. I have it at 0.05, -0.05, and then for my eye relief, I have it at -20, so we can kind of see more what's going on in our optic here. But this full build for the AKS-74 is an absolute monster. It's an absolute beast with the calibrations, and this build you're gonna love it a lot. Now, jumping into our third weapon here in this list, I have the AKM. This is the good old classic AK-47. Really strong, really good at long range, really good up close. Really, no matter where you use this weapon, it's gonna perform very well. But for my build, we are gonna start with the optic here, and for me, on this weapon in particular, I like using the panoramic red dot, just a classic red dot. I think this is the best one to use in the game. I think it's a very clean one to use as well. But like I say, use what you have unlocked, or go ahead and throw on your favorite optic here. Now, we are going to go over here to the barrel next, and we're going to add on the practical long barrel combo. A lot of range is going into this weapon, a lot of control and stability, which is nice. This is going to make this weapon a whole lot better to use at longer ranges, which is going to be very good for this weapon here. Now, we are going to go up here to the right patch, and what we're going to be adding on is going to be the Python handguard panel. This is going to give some handling. We have better sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. We need to bring that back up on this weapon. Now, for my left patch, again, we are going to add on the Python handguard panel for that extra handling, helping us be a little bit more aggressive with this weapon. Now, for my forward grip here, we are going to go ahead and throw on the angled combat grip again. This can give us a lot of control and some accuracy for this weapon. Now, with this build, we are running the practical long barrel, so we did lose a lot of accuracy. We do need to bring that back up, so this is going to help out a lot, just keeping the weapon really good in control. It's going to have really good accuracy. The vertical and horizontal recoil control is nice, so this weapon is going to be very smooth, so we're going to add on the angled combat grip. Now, we are going to jump back up here to the right rail, and I'm going to add it on the laser light combo. I like to have that handling and accuracy, and also sometimes I like to go in tactical stance, so we are going to add a laser light combo on this build. Now, for my muzzle, there is a couple good options that you could go with here. Now, I am going to run the DTK muzzle brake. We are getting a more accuracy, and we're getting more control. Now, with the forward grip that we're running and this muzzle brake that I've chose here, we actually canceled out all the negative barrel onto that accuracy. So our accuracy is back to normal, which is good, but we are getting that extra control. This weapon isn't going to move. I'm telling you, this is a really good build so far. Now, for our magazine, we are going to add on the AKM 30-round polymer mag just to bring that handling up. We're going to be more aggressive. I mean, realistically, you could add on the 40 extended mag, but that handling is going down. I'm not a fan of, so we're just going to go ahead and just keep on the 30-round polymer mag for that extra handling. Now, make sure you are running a mag mount. It does not matter which one that you're using here. That is going to give you +1 handling. That does not matter. But for our rear grip, we are going to add on the AK Heavy Tower grip again. This is also going to give us the grip mount. But we are getting that accuracy. We are getting a lot of stability, handling, and control as well. Overall, making this weapon a lot better. But now we are going to add a combat grip on, which is going to be the balanced grip base. This can give us more accuracy, stability, handling, and control, making this weapon very smooth to use. Now we are going to go to the stock for our final attachment here, and we're going to go down until we find the skeleton stock, the skeleton sniper stock. We're going to bump up that stability, bump up that handling, which is nice, which is going to help us be a lot more aggressive with this weapon here. But I'm telling you, with this build, you're going to fry and get high kill games. Now for the calibrations on the AKM for this build, we are going to go ahead and start with the barrel. Now, I'm not going to max this one out because this is actually a very important one that we need to really think about what we're doing. Now, what I went ahead and did for my weight limit is put it at 20, and then for my length, I put it at -5. This is going to give me aim down sight speed and firing aiming stability, but I don't want to take a hit on too much of my aim down sight speed, movement speed, and that muzzle velocity. That is very important, but I do want to have extra control for my weapon. You know, the velocity and everything is very important with the time to kill being so quick in this game, so we're going to drop it down just a little bit. Nothing too crazy, though, but 20, -5 for our length and weight limit here. Now, for my forward grip, placement is going to be +2, and our thickness is -20. We are going to get that ADS movement speed and also that extra recoil control. This weapon isn't going to move whatsoever. For the rear grip, we are going to max out the weight limit at 50 and the thickness at -20. We are getting that hipfire aim speed and the extra recoil control, which, again, this weapon isn't going to move. Now, for my stock here next, we are going to max out the weight limit again at 50, and then our cheek pad placement is going to be -2. We are getting that aim down sight movement speed, and we are getting extra recoil control again. This weapon isn't going to move. And then for my optic, we are going to drop the eye relief down to -20 so we can see more what's going on in the red dot. And also we have that zoom just down one notch at -0.05. So again, once it's zoomed out, I can see what's going more on in my gunfights here. But for the AKM, I'm telling you, this build and the calibrations is an absolute monster. Now, jumping to my fourth weapon here, we're going to go to the SMGs, which I have the BIZON. Now, I will say this, using this weapon, PC and even here in PS5, Personally, for me, this is one of the easiest weapons in the game also for the SMGs, and I think you guys are going to love this build as well. We are going to go ahead and start with the optic, and for me personally, my go-to optic on this weapon is going to be the panoramic red dye. I love it a lot, but like I say, use your favorite optic or go ahead and use what you have on lock. Now, make sure if you do have the charging handle, go ahead and throw this on. I'm about to unlock it. If I did, I would add it on. That is going to give us extra handling. Now, for our handguard here, we are going to add on the carbon fiber handguard. This is going to give us control and handling, helping us be more aggressive with our aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed, and just having extra control for this weapon. Now, for my right rail, we are going to add on the purple laser light combo. I like to using the purple. Again, it does not matter which one that you're using here, so go ahead and add on a laser light combo here. Make sure you have your laser on. Now, we are going to the barrel and adding on the standard barrel. I think this should be your go-to choice using this. The ultra long barrel is nice if you're using it, but I mean, the handling going away, the accuracy going away, you're going to be really strict on, you know, trying to bring up that handling and accuracy once you add this on. So, you know, just to give us some extra range, which is going to be nice for that 20 range, we're just going to go with the standard barrel and extra recoil control, which is always good no matter what gun you're using. Now, for my muzzle, we're going to go all the way down here to the bottom and add on the practical flash hider. We are getting control, we are getting stability, making this weapon more accurate, calm, and stable when firing, and just having control of our weapon is always nice. Now, for my magazine, you could go with the 64 round mag. I'm not here. We're just going to keep the base mag for this weapon, so we're going to skip over the magazine. For my rear grip, we are going to add on the AK Heavy Tower grip. This is going to give us a +1 in control, handling, and stability, and a +4 in our accuracy, which is nice. Now, for our grip mount, we are going to add on the balance grip base. This can give us a +1 again in that control, handling, stability, and accuracy, which is always amazing here. And then we are going to the stock for our final attachment. Now, there is a couple good choices that you could go with. The PT3 sacrifice stock is really good. You're getting everything here pretty balanced, the accuracy, control, handling, stability. But for me personally, what we're going to be adding on is going to be the shadow buffer tube stock. The +10 in that handling is going to help us be super aggressive. We are losing stability, which is okay. We are going to fix that, and we are getting a little bit of control. We're going to be super aggressive with this build. We have really good control of this weapon here, but I'm telling you, this build is an absolute monster. And again, this SMG is easily one of the easiest weapons to use in the entire game as well. Now, jumping into the calibrations for the BIZON here, for my barrel, we're going to go ahead and max out the weight limit at 50. And then for my length, I'm going to drop it down to -4. Now, this is also another weapon I don't want to lose a lot of velocity on, but also having that aim down sight speed is nice. So we're going to drop it down just to only -4 here. I think that's a very smart move of us. Now, for the rear grip, we are going to max out our weight limit at 50 and then our thickness at -20. We are getting that hip fire aim speed, and we are getting extra recoil control for this weapon. I mean, this thing is not going to move whatsoever. Now, for my stock, we are going to max out both the weight limit and placement at 50 and 3. We are getting that firing stability, bringing that back up, and also we have that extra recoil control, which is always good. And then for our optic, we are going to put our zoom, actually, we're going to bring it up 1, so it's going to be +0.05. So it zoomed in a little bit so I can see more what's going on at longer ranges. And our eye relief is going to be at -20, so we see more what's going on in our optic here. But the BIZON, again, is a very easy weapon. This build and the calibrations is just going to make this weapon even easier to use, way more broken. And then jumping into our final weapon here in today's video, we have the K416 assault rifle here. Now, I will say, out of all the weapons I've used and maxed out and everything, this is my favorite weapon that I've been using. I play the best with it. I feel like I do the best with this weapon, but here's the build that I use. Now, for my optic here first, we are going to be adding on the panoramic red dot. I feel like this is the best optic in the game, but like I say, use your favorite optic or use what you have on lock. Now, for my upper patch, what we're going to be adding on is the Hound handguard panel. This can give us 1 stability, making this weapon more calm and smooth when firing. Again, for our right patch, we are going to add on the Hound handguard panel for that stability, just keeping this weapon super calm. Now, for our upper rail, we're not going to add anything on here. I don't think we really need one. For the left patch, we are going to add on the Hound handguard panel once again for that stability, keeping this weapon calm and smooth. Now, jumping into my barrel, we're going to add on the K416 AA long barrel combo. We're getting +3 range, we're getting some control, some stability. I think this should be the choice that you're using for this AR with the long barrel combo, the A8. I think this is going to be really helpful for those longer range gunfights and just having good control of this weapon, which we're going to fix the cons that the barrel gave us here in just a second. Now for my foregrip, we are going to be adding on the angled grip. This is going to give us some accuracy and some control. A lot of control is going into this. We are going to bring that accuracy back up so our weapon is more accurate when firing, but we're going to have great control of this weapon. With it having more of a faster fire rate, I mean, the RPM is almost at 900, which is insane. We do want to have good control of this weapon, keeping it smooth, nice, and easy to control. Now, we're going to jump back up here to the right rail, which we're going to go ahead and add on a laser light combo. The only reason why I'm using it on this build, it is nice to have that hip fire accuracy, which is nice, and also able to go into tag stance, but the most important thing here for us is going to be that handling. So make sure to have the laser light on at all times so you have that extra handling. For my muzzle next, we are going to go ahead and drop all the way down here until we find the spiral fire flash hider for that stability and that recoil control. Again, this weapon does have a fast fire rate. We need to have good control of this weapon, and also we need to keep this weapon under control and stable and accurate. So make sure you add on the spiral fire flash hider here. Now, what we're going to do next is go to the magazine. Now, we're actually going to add in a larger mag for this weapon here. Now, I know the control, handling, stability, and accuracy is going down, but with this weapon having such a fast fire rate, we don't want to have to reload all the time to stop our flow, get hit with that timing, you know, someone push us or something. We don't want that to happen, so we are going to add on the 45 round extended mag here. I think that's important. I think that's important for this build, no kidding. Now for our mag mount, we are going to go ahead and add on a small mag assist here for that extra handling to bring it back up a little bit, which is going to be pretty helpful here. For the rear grip here, we are going to add on the AR heavy tower grip. This is going to give us +1 in control, handling, and stability, and a +4 in that accuracy, and also it unlocks the grip mount, which is nice. Now we're going to go to the grip mount and add on the balance grip base, which is giving us a +1 in control, handling, and stability, and also another 4 in that accuracy, which is going to be amazing for this weapon. That is very needed. Now we are going to go to the stock here, and what we need to work on personally for me is we need to work on some handling here and some accuracy and everything. So for me, for this weapon here, we're going to go with the 416 collapsible stock. +2 in that control, +8 in that handling, +8 in that accuracy. This is going to help out a lot, but also help us be a little bit more aggressive with this weapon. But here is the full build, and I'm telling you, you're going to love this. And then for the calibrations for this K416 build here, we are going to start with the barrel. For our weight limit, we have it at 50. And then for my length, I have it at -3. I don't want to lose too much muzzle velocity with this, but also I do want to gain a little bit of aim down sight speed, which is nice. So we're not going to go too crazy with this, but for our weight limit, again, 50. And then for our length, we have it at -3. Now for our foregrip here, we have our placement at +4, our thickness at -10 here. This is going to give us some movement speed, and also we're going to get some extra recoil control, which is amazing here. For my rear grip, we are going to max out the weight limit at 50, and then we're going to drop our thickness down to -20. We are going to have a faster hipfire aim speed. We are getting some extra recoil control. Again, this weapon having a faster fire rate, we need to have good control of this weapon. For my stock, we have our weight limit at +50, and then we have our placement at -1. I don't want to lose too much firing stability because we are bringing that back up, but also I do want to have faster aim down sight speed. We are getting the extra control, but I do want to be a lot more aggressive up close and everything, so make sure to have these down. And then for our optic, we are going to put our eye relief at -20, and then our zoom is going to be at -0.05. I don't want to go too zoomed out, but I also want to zoom it out just a little bit because this weapon does have a faster fire rate, so the visual recoil and muzzle flash can be crazy at times, so it's not going to be as bad when firing this weapon when aimed down sights here. But I am telling you, these are the top 5 best loadouts you need to be using right now here in Delta Force on console, mobile, PC. It does not matter. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope that helped you. If it did, again, make sure that like button and subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and I'll see you on the next one.